What's up, guys? Welcome back to Cool Fred's Beamer Tech. So I'm still working on the E60. I'm trying to get it wrapped up. So for you guys who are new to the channel, Cool Fred's Beamer Tech, it's pretty much a channel specifically for BMWs and other European cars. My name is Cool Fred. I've been working on these cars for over 17 years and just decided to kick off a channel of me repairing these cars, talking about these cars. So it's gonna be a variety of content just surrounding around BMW and other European cars, but mainly BMW. So this is probably, I want to say, this is probably like the fourth video on the E60. So I've got the pretty much just some brief stuff that I've done to it. I had to pull the intake pipe out to replace. I don't even have the old seal over here. I'm gonna grab this air filter because we'll be talking about this next. But I had to pull the rear intake pipe off of the turbo. So in the previous video, I do that, and also replace the O2 sensors. So got all that knocked out. So I'm scanning the car right now. So I'm letting the scanner do what it's gonna do, and I'm trying to check to see what codes I got that's coming back. So these are the new O2 sensors up here for the before cat, and that the turbo seal on the rear turbo, the inlet pipe seal, which is this pipe right here that goes along the back of the motor and down to the turbo. So had to take a lot of things out to get that installed. So pretty much right now I'm in the process of trying to get this thing buttoned up. You can refer to the other video to see what all I had to take out to get that done, but I'm in the process of pretty much putting it back together now. So I got a lot of trim pieces. I got that brace right there I gotta put in. Got the air box right there. And got a whole bunch of the trims, like for the microfilter housing and the little under hood trims. And there's also a bunch of stuff in the trunk and some stuff up under the car I gotta get back on there. So all that stuff right there, which ain't gonna take a whole lot of time to put on, but that's what we got. So I got the new air filter here because I mentioned that when I was checking the air filter that it was crumbling apart. So I'm gonna show you guys that in a minute. But let me see what kind of codes we got. So I'm just gonna go straight to the report of my scanner. See what we got. So I've been scanning the vehicle with this Autel MS. This is the Autel MS BT. Well, MS 906 BT. So I've had this scanner for about 3 years now. Let me see. All right, so the main thing I'm kind of looking for, I'll go to the other faults in a minute. I'm just looking at the report. But if you can see back on video 1 of on this E60, that I had this code 2C3D in the engine computer, catalytic converter, oxygen sensor line fault, and you could that was a currently present fault, and now that it's absent. So also those other two, and also the mixture control is absent. So the computer did pick up that that these codes seem to be corrected. So that's good. So I'm gonna go in and clear the faults in a little bit. But before I do that, I'm gonna get the air filter replaced. All right, so this right here is the air box for this N54 engine. And pretty much you just, I got one more I gotta get. You just pop those clips. Actually, it's another one over here. So you just pop those out and you can take this lid out. But what I was saying before, like when I was inspecting the air filter, like this one's real dirty. And you can see right here, it's just deteriorating and falling apart. So that's one of the things I recommended to the client, is that we need to get another air filter. So go ahead and toss that away. And so these air boxes normally collect like a lot of dust and stuff. So I just, you don't have to remove this to change the air filter. It's just, you know, since it was already out. But a lot of times what I'll do is I normally, even at work, I'll take a vacuum cleaner. If they got a lot of dirt and debris in here, I'll take a vacuum cleaner and kind of clean those, suck the debris and the dirt out. Because for you guys don't know, this right here is the inlet duct. But while this thing is running, like these turbo engines like to suck a lot of air. So while this thing is running, if you were to put your hand right here, you would see how much air is in this thing, because it'll almost suck your hand up against the air box. So these things can suck a lot of air. So it's really important to have a good air filter in here. All right, so the new air filter is in. So I'm gonna reassemble this box back together, and then I'm gonna put the box on the car. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this rear partition trim in a minute, and then I'm pretty much gonna start going up under the car, putting all the trim panels back on. So there's a couple things under there I need to check. It's exhaust nut near the rear of the vehicle, kind of close to the diff. I need to put that nut on for the exhaust hanger and tighten that up, and then I need to check the front diff fluid and top it off. So I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna top it off with. So I got some extra fluid that I had from work laying over there, but this is what I'm gonna use right here. So I'm gonna use this, I wanna say this is made by Mighty Vac. It's like a little syringe filler. So I'll be able to suck the fluid in here. And it's a 17 millimeter Allen on the front diff. So the front diff has a drain and a fill plug. All right, so this right here is the front diff, the front differential. So this is what sends power to the front wheels via the transfer case, and that's the front drive shaft from the transfer case to this front diff, and that goes over here to your front axle here. So, and that goes through the oil pan. So that's how they're able to achieve all-wheel drive on in a car. Pretty much it's a similar, it's the X-Drive system that you see in a lot of the X5 and X3s. So this over here, that's the fill plug. A little tricky to see, but it's up there on the side, and that's the drain plug. So I'm just gonna crack that fill plug open and see if any fluid trickles out, and if it doesn't, I'm gonna top it off. All right, so I got the air box in, and I got this that's like the housing for the microfilter. It's like the rear, I don't really know. I guess that's like the air distribution, but it's kind of like the rear partition trim. So you can kind of take that out just to get a little bit more room in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some more things under the car, get it back together. And there's another code in there that I saw, a misfire code, and so we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. All right, so I got the E60 put back together. I got it back on the ground. So everything's in there. So I'm about to get ready to go in here, clear the codes. But I mentioned a second ago that I saw a code in here. Let me turn this thing on real quick. You gotta turn the ignition on. For some reason, there's something in this seat making a little noise when I hit the seat control button. So I'm not sure if this car's got some kind of draw, or if something in the seat is going wrong. It's like some of the motors in the headrest will just start making noise sporadically. Alright, so so here we go. So I've already had the car scanned from earlier, but I'm about to get ready to clear the codes, and I'm gonna reset the adaptations. So before I do that, I'm gonna read the codes, let you guys see the codes that are in here. And this is one good thing I like to see, which is absent. What that means is pretty much, in BMW terms, not currently present. But one of the codes I was concerned about was this cylinder 6 misfire, and that's happening at idle. Because I don't know if I mentioned it, but there's a slight misfire at idle. But our emission control faults, our catalytic converter, upstream, line sensor fault, and then we got one for the temperature sensor. I think that's got something to do with the O2 sensor heater. And we also got 30 FF was boost pressure too low. So these turbos, the wastegates are sticking on them. In the last video, I kind of showed you what it means when the wastegate is worn out. So so we got the cylinder 6 misfire. Looks like this thing just rescanned the codes. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and clear the codes. I'm gonna clear the codes in the engine computer. Let me go ahead and read them, make sure that the codes did clear. So the codes did clear. And pretty much before I start putting the microfilter trims and stuff like that, I want to swap the ignition coils on the one from cylinder 6. So I'm gonna swap that one with one from another cylinder. That way, if we do have a issue with the coil, or if the misfire comes back on the same cylinder, we'll be able to kind of diagnose it further. But also what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in here and reset the adaptations. So that's basically, since we had fuel trim faults and I repaired the leak that was causing the lean mixture faults. Also, this battery, customer said he replaced the battery, so it's probably just a little weak because the car's been sitting. I should have enough juice to start it up. But let me see if I can at least reset these adaptations real quick, because sometimes the battery power, if the battery voltage is too low, you won't be able to do any of these things, because you'll start having communication issues with the computer. But I'm gonna delete the adaptations and variants. It gives you some instructions here. Turn off the, make sure the engine is off and the terminal 15 ignition is on. So I usually pick option 1. So to tell you that it's resetting the adaptations, and then we just need to let the car go into sleep mode, which basically the engine computer. It takes maybe a couple minutes. So let's say turn it, leave the ignition turned on for a minimum of 10 seconds. I think, well, I probably should turn it off now. So it's usually turn it off for 10 seconds, then turn it back on. And then after that, I guess, but a lot of times we try to let the computer go to sleep. So me, I usually give it a couple minutes, and then I'll come back and turn it on. But while we're letting the car go to sleep and reset and do the reset for the adaptations, well, not the whole car, because it actually takes about maybe 15 minutes for this car to go to sleep. Because basically, a lot of times you can wait till the start-stop button goes out, which that'll go out in probably 2 minutes. But when the complete car is asleep, this park, the little indicator right here on the park, on the gear selector, that'll be out probably. Actually, it went out just now. But I want to say this particular car didn't go to sleep until about 15 minutes, because it is an E-series car. All right, so pretty much what I wanted to do before I get to putting all these trims and the rest of the stuff in here, like the micro filter house and stuff like that. So I know I got that cylinder 6 misfire. That is on the back side of the engine. The rear, that seal I replaced for the turbo, I'm not sure if that lean mixture fault was causing that, but also it just seemed like when I let the car run, because I did start it up, you guys didn't really see it, but just to make sure I didn't have any exhaust leaks and stuff like that, I did start the car up yesterday with the airbox out, just to kind of make sure that, you know, it's running okay. I don't have any exhaust leaks because of all the work that I did to it, that y'all saw pieces of it in the previous video. I just want to make sure all of that stuff was good and I didn't have to adjust anything or tighten anything while all that stuff was out, because I had a lot of stuff out. I had the catalytic converters out, had the front axle out, the exhaust loose, all that stuff. So I just want to make sure all that stuff was good. But since I'm in here, just in case we have like a defective ignition coil or even possibly a spark plug. I don't have my special spark plug socket with me today, but cylinder 6 is back here in the back of the motor. So I'm gonna snatch this coil out. The door to it. Thing, but this thing is kind of stuck in here. They're normally not in here like that. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swap. All right, that's cylinder 1. So yeah, these are definitely some aftermarket coils. Well, number one is actually a Delphi. But looking at some of these are, they have the D on them, which stands for Duralast. And I absolutely do not recommend running Duralast coils from AutoZone on these cars. Those Duralast coils are junk, and they're only and they just don't hold up. So it looks like it has at least one Duralast in here. And that's on cylinder 2. I guess it's okay right now, but so the one in the back was a is a Delphi, so that's a good brand, but that don't mean it can't be bad. It could be the original one, but it is stuck down in there, so I'm about to grab some pliers or something to get that out so I can swap it. And I think I got another locking mechanism for the top part of the coil. All right, so I did finally get that ignition coil out of there. I had to kind of use these pliers right here, twist it around a little bit, and get it out. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of mark it so I can remember where it came from. So I'm put a 6 on that one and a 1 on this one. And then I did have a spare ignition coil in my toolbox. So this is a Delphi coil. I'm not 100% sure if it's good or not, but I'm gonna borrow this little locking mechanism from it and put on cylinder 6. And then if we do detect the issue, I'll pop this one in and I'll see if it's good. And if it's good, I'll just end up just selling it to the customer at a reduced cost, probably maybe like 20 bucks or something. Because this one right here is a OE original coil. These are the ones. This is actually a BMW coil, and it's probably $100 something new. So, but you can, because I was telling you guys that one right there, cylinder 2. Somebody put a Duralast one in there, so I mean it's no codes on that cylinder right now, so it's probably okay. But in my experience, all of the customers and clients who have went to AutoZone, had somebody put a Duralast coil in their car, they didn't last long. So, but I mean, I guess every case is different. I guess we'll see how it holds up. But all the rest of the coils seem to be they're probably the original coils for this vehicle. I'm not sure if they ever been changed because the other 5 are Delphi. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap these out, and then we're gonna start this thing up and see how it's running. All right, so I got the adaptations reset, and I'm about to get ready to start the car, but before I start it up, I'm going to try to check the smooth running. I probably got to go under the diagnosis tab. Let me see if I can. That way, if it is misfiring, I can.
Daddy, why the truck in the back? Why the truck in the back?
The truck?
No, why the truck in the back?
That's my truck in the back of here, man. Alright, so on my scanner, some of it's a little glare because of the sun. And then that person right there, that's my son right there. You can see him in the reflection in the tablet. But I'm gonna go up under here under live data, and right here where it says operational smoothness value, I'm gonna select that, and cylinders 1 through 6. Let me see what else we got in here. It's got some other options in here. I guess you can see if it's I guess it'll tell you how many cylinders or what's in spec or not. But this is the ones I normally go through, and then I'm gonna show selected, and I'm gonna start this thing up and see what we got. So far it seems like it's running okay. So I'm just gonna let it run, see what it does. Of course, this thing has been sitting a while. The other day I aired up the tires, so I'm gonna see if I can get this right here is just the e-brake. That's why that's on. But I'm gonna go ahead and reset the tire pressure, all that good stuff, and pretty much I'm gonna go ahead and look at this real quick, because a lot of times, like during the warm-up cycle, it's running nice and smooth now, but the times that it did act up was right when the car got out of the warm-up phase.
Daddy, where took in the box?
So right when the car got out of the warm-up phase, that's when it would start to act up. And it looks like I could or possibly may have an issue with cylinder 1. I'm not sure yet. See right here, it's jumping. Cylinder 1 is jumping a little higher than the others. So I think we're gonna have an issue there. So I'm probably just gonna pop in the other coil. Sometimes another thing to do is put it in gear, and we can kind of see if it's going on, if it's gonna act up. So far it seems to be okay and running smooth, but every now and again the numbers are kind of it'll start to run rough, and the numbers are kind of jump up there a little bit. For some reason it just jumped up to 3. So there is possibly an issue with that coil on cylinder 1. And that's the one that was on cylinder 6. See, cylinder 6 is perfect. Numbers are nice and low. As far as I remember, anything above like 1 or 1.5 means you got a misfire. So and cylinder 1, every now and again it blips up to 3. So there's definitely something going on with that coil. I'm probably just gonna go ahead and pop that other coil in there, and see how make sure at least it's working. That way when I start test driving it, because we want to try to get this thing to pass emissions. So versus going out there and road testing it and knowing that I do have a possible misfire fault or misfire code on cylinder 1. Let me see if this thing stored any faults real quick. So it's got no fault stored. I probably will I might reset it real quick, try to start it again, and then see if it picks up on anything. But I'm probably just gonna go ahead and just put that spare coil that I got in there. That way when I start driving it and all that good stuff, that hopefully I'm good to go. Alright, so this is it. It's running nice and smooth. But like I was saying before, I'm gonna go ahead and swap that emission coil out and see what we got. Alright, so I got the engine cover on. What I'm doing now is I'm putting this strap brace back in here. Getting this thing put back together. So I did go ahead and swap out that coil with the extra coil that I had. Hopefully it'll be okay. I did check the smooth running. It wasn't going as high as it was with the coil that was in there. So when I test drive it, I'm gonna see how it does. But for if any reason it does have any problems, I could just loosen these 2 screws, lift this cover up, and it's right there on cylinder 1, so I can just easily replace it if I have to. Getting this thing put back together, like I said, I got to put all these trims in for the microfilter housing, and so that just makes sure that you're not getting water and all that stuff down in there. So got these trim covers that go in, and then it got the actual housing that the microfilter is in. So And once I do all that, this thing be put back together, ready to go drive. Alright, so got the E60 back together. This that 2010 535, got it back together. About to go take it for a spin in a minute. But so yeah, got all the trims back on it. Everything's put together just like factory. You know, I get people come to me every now and again, and they tell me stories. I'm talking to them, they tell me, man, I took my car to this shop, and I took my car to this mechanic, man, and they ain't put all my pieces back on. They'll be telling me, Al, they did not put all my pieces back on. They left my engine cover off. But you can see everything is back, you know what I'm saying, in here just like factory. All the trims, the microfilter housing, everything in there, and everything's intact. So just like if you went, you know, to the dealer to get your car serviced, everything is back together. So, but I'm about to go take this thing for a spin, and so also everything running nice and smooth. Engine, you know, it's running nice and smooth. So basically, it's about to leave in better condition than it came. So that's the type of work I do. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing ready. I'm driving around the neighborhood because he don't have no tag on it. Well, it's got a tag, but you know, it's expired. So that's what we're trying to do, get this thing to pass emissions. And so that's what we're about to do. Alright, so me and Lil Al about to go take this thing for a spin, make sure it's riding like it's supposed to, make sure it's driving good, and we'll make sure everything is good. So I already pretty much checked out all the preliminary stuff. Got the tire pressure reset. So this car been sitting for a while. So the other day I aired up the tire pressures while I was airing up some of the tires on some of my other cars. So the oil levels are good. So we're pretty much ready now to take off. I got the air conditioner on, but I'm trying to go in and make sure that, I want to see this one has got settings for the climate control. So I know the AC working, but just make sure that it's set up kind of cool. But it's starting to get a little warm out here. So it is nice to have the AC on while we drive. So I'm gonna go try this thing and buckle up my seatbelt, and after the tire pressure reset, hopefully we don't have no lights on the dash. Alright, so I'm driving this thing through the neighborhood. I'm gonna put it out on the main road just for a little bit, but it's running and driving good, nice and smooth. It don't seem like it's misfiring or anything like that. So I mean, that's pretty much what we want. And, you know, these 535s, they got some pretty good, the N54 engine has pretty good torque, pretty good horsepower too. So we can't drive this one too hard because the turbos are starting to wear out, like those wastegates are starting to wear out. So if you get on a little bit too much, you can get a low boost pressure code, and it may go into limp mode. But one of these cars in top tip running condition, these cars are kind of, these cars can be sleepers, like, you know, like a wolf in sheep's clothing, to be honest with you. These things will get up and go. I'm trying to wait here till the traffic kind of clear down before I get out here. So there it goes then. So while I was getting out there, that's not necessarily a check engine light, that's a reduced power malfunction, but basically while it's trying to build boost, it didn't build the amount of boost that it wanted to build, the engine computer. So what it does, it'll go into, it's not necessarily in limp mode, just reduce power, or it just letting you know that it did happen. A lot of times you can reset the, you can turn the vehicle off and turn it back on to kind of reset it. But as far as it, you know, it running and driving good, it is running and driving good. The owner of the car does know about the turbos wearing out. He was contemplating trying to replace them, but you know, it was just too expensive to do so at this time. So, but the main thing he wants is for it to pass emissions. So I got my scanner in here. So what I'm gonna do is just run a quick. I'm just gonna kind of just scan it. I'm gonna see what codes have. What codes have set. Most likely it's going to be that 30 FF, which is low boost pressure, which we already know what's going on with that. But as far as it running and driving, I'm going to look at the emissions monitor. So long as nothing is affected, I'll probably come out and drive it like one more time around the neighborhood, just to kind of, just to make sure it's okay. If it's all right, then it's ready for him to come on and get it. But it is running and driving good. We did take care of, you know, the basic concerns that's gonna get the check engine light off, which was that lean mixture code, that air leak, which was caused by that seal on that rear turbo pipe, the inlet pipe, and then replacing both of those O2 sensors, which the fault. We corrected the line fault for bank 1 before cat on cylinders 1 through 3. But I'm just driving around, so it's running, driving good. It's probably not like building the boost that it would normally build, because it's in reduced power mode. But you know, it's not misfiring and running rough or anything, so that's a good thing. Alright, so I did rescan the car, and the only code is in there is a 30 FF, which is turbocharger boost pressure too low. And basically when you go down through and look at the freeze frame data and everything like that, it tell you the RPM and stuff like that. Did it occur that? I gotta scroll up a little bit, but it happened at 3,000 RPM. That sun glare is kind of bad, so you guys gotta bear with me, because the screen is a little, because of all the glare in the sun. So another thing I'm gonna try to look at real quick is I'm gonna try to look at my let me see if I can find the OBD2 readiness. I'm just trying to see like how many monitors we have to set. Alright, so on my scanner, going right here to where it say OBD2 readiness and codes. So some stuff has passed, some stuff is not. But let me see here. Say misfiring has passed, fuel system passed, tank ventilation no, oxygen sensors no, oxygen sensor heating yes, catalytic converter no. So we got a few things that need to pass, but that's most likely something that you know, if the customer drives it and drives it easy, he should be able to get those to set. So the O2 sensors, I'm not sure. I think there might be a 2-trip cycle one. So usually the catalytic converter, and I believe the evaporative emissions, I think that's fuel system, but that's already set. Let's see. So yeah.
Yeah, mommy. Call mommy, Dad.
I would say the O2 sensors and the tank ventilation, those two, and then the catalytic converter. So once those set, that's like 3 monitors. So once those set, and you can pass with 1 monitor
not set yet. So that means there are no codes in the computer. You have no faults, no codes with no apparent problems. And if you're down to just two, if you're down to one monitor that hasn't yet set, you can still pass emissions. I think on cars older than 2001, you can have two monitors that's not set and still pass. So that's just like one little, I wouldn't call it a loophole, but that's just like one little thing, you know, that's nice to know. Because sometimes some of the monitors do take a little longer to set. Not typically on BMW. BMW, they normally go through pretty quick. By the second drive cycle, like if I let the car cool down and sit and drive it, if I drive it the right amount of miles or a certain drive cycle, I can typically get them to set. So I'm gonna go out and just drive it one more time around the neighborhood and just kind of take it easy, and then I'll probably let it cool down and go drive it again to see how, you know, how it's doing. Then it'll be ready for the customer. All right, so the 535 is running and driving good. I just drove it through the neighborhood a couple times, so it's driving pretty good. It's with the exception of the reduced power because of the turbochargers. Other than that, it's running and driving good. Should be able to still pass emissions even though it has that reduced power. That's kind of, you know, that's not nothing that's gonna affect the emissions related systems. It's just that every now and again as you're driving it, you know, you just got to drive it a little bit more moderately. So just want to thank you guys for checking out Cool Fred's Beamer Tech, and please like, subscribe.